Tonight on NonStop Local, new developments in the Anaconda shooting case. Our team able to get our hands on the newly unsealed court documents ahead of tomorrow's hearing. Plus, a Cascade County detention officer under arrest tonight after police say a domestic disturbance turned violent. We'll let you know what the sheriff is saying about the misconduct. And big news for a former Montana State star, Tommy Mellott, taking his next step in his football journey. We'll show you where Tommy is headed. NonStop Local. We start right now.
Ben Weinman and Mark Hakel, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local Montana at 5.
Well, folks, good Tuesday evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ben Wyman. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. We begin tonight in Anaconda. The man accused of killing 4 people in the Owl Bar back in the beginning of August, now knowing what charges he is facing. Michael Paul Brown stands accused of 4 counts of deliberate homicide, those charges being finally unsealed today. Our Isaiah Ruiz is leading us off tonight, been following the story from the very beginning, and he joins us now in the studio. Isaiah, good evening to you. What else was also in those unsealed documents? What did you find out tonight?
Ben, I was able to find out today some of the biggest key takeaways from these recently unleashed documents. As far as the punishment, if found guilty for the charges, it would be death, life imprisonment, or 10 to 100 years in prison, plus 2 to 10 years consecutive for use of a firearm for each count. Brown was arrested August 8th after a week-long manhunt with bail set at $2 million and strict release conditions. Originally, all pretrial records were sealed, a move criticized as unusual, but the court has now modified that order, keeping only sensitive filings like charging affidavits and discovery certificates sealed while making most records and hearings public. Brown's arraignment is scheduled for tomorrow, September 3rd, and both prosecutors and defense counsel agree that limited secrecy is needed to protect his right to a fair trial. Now, one last important note about the arraignment tomorrow is it will be on Zoom for those in the public who are looking to attend virtually, and also those highly sensitive documents with detailed evidence will remain sealed until trial. Reporting in studio with NonStop Local News, I'm Isaiah Ruiz.
Appreciate the reporting tonight, Isaiah. Thank you very much. Let's go to Bighorn National Forest tonight. We had a tragic plane crash happen there. 1 child is dead. 3 others, all from the same family, are recovering after the single-engine aircraft went down yesterday afternoon. It happened just west of Big Mountain in Sheridan County, Wyoming. Search and rescue teams set up an incident command post at Steamboat Point and confirmed the wreckage from the air. Crews found a 13-year-old girl dead at the scene. 3 survivors, an 11-year-old boy, and 2 adults were all seriously hurt and airlifted to hospitals in Sheridan and Billings. The Wyoming Army National Guard was called in to help with hoist operations at the crash site. Right now, the Federal Aviation Administration is leading that investigation. The Sheridan County Sheriff asking the public to stay clear of the area until that work is complete. Beyond the big sky tonight on Capitol Hill, a House committee is going to meet today with 10 Jeffrey Epstein accusers. Epstein died back in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. The hearing comes amid bipartisan calls for more public disclosure. Critics say the Trump administration failed to follow through on promises to release those files. Earlier this summer, Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna pushed a measure demanding their release. And a homicide investigation is underway in Nevada after authorities said a man was found dead at the Burning Man festival on Saturday night. Local sheriff's office say the victim was found lying in a pool of blood at a campsite at the popular arts and music event. The cause of death wasn't immediately clear, and with the man's identity still unknown. Police describing the man's death as a singular crime. Still, authorities urging festival goers to be aware of their surroundings and who they're with. The Burning Man festival started back on August 24th and ended yesterday. And also beyond the big sky tonight, a federal judge ruling today that President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth violated federal law by using the U.S. military to support law enforcement in L.A. during an immigration crackdown. Judge Charles Breyer found the deployment of the National Guard and Marines violated the Posse Comitatus Act, which bans troops from domestic policy. California Governor Gavin Newsom sued back in June, with the ruling coming after a multi-day trial. Okay, bringing it back here to the Treasure State tonight. Labor Day is now behind us. Everyone kind of getting back into their work and school routine. Hey, little blue sky could go a long way. Let's bring in meteorologist Mark Haka tonight. And Mark, unfortunately, we have nice weather, but it's hazy out there in so many places across the state tonight.
Smoke is going to be a major problem, Ben. In fact, there is an air quality alert in northeast Montana, and if anything, the smoke will get thicker later this week as winds shift.
We've not had those air quality, I mean, that's a normal thing in July and August. We've not really had those so far this summer. Yeah.
No, and we are a state divided. I'm using that term again because some of us are going to be sizzling hot, and like you, and then others of us are going to be cool, like me.
You're very cool, Mark Haka.
Okay. Hey, good evening, everyone. Yeah, unfortunately, the smoke will be a problem. But again, I'll get to those temperatures in just a moment. Let's take a look at the time lapse into my favorite little division in Missoula, the Sawmill District. And yeah, a lot of haze, a lot of smoke, and it appears that it's going to hang around. And if anything get worse in places like Missoula, it's already bad in the eastern areas of the state. And it looks like not a lot of improvement. Now, here's some bad news. Here it is, September. We have a heat advisory through tomorrow for the lower Clark Fork area and the Kootenai Cabinet areas west of Missoula and Kalispell. Get a load of this. Highs in the lower 100s. And right now, 102 in Lewiston, 95 Missoula. Look at the difference in temperatures, 73 in Glendive. So we are definitely a state divided. In the west, it's hot. In the east, temperatures are a little bit below normal. There's a reason for that. I'll get to that in a moment, but here is also a reason. Cloud cover in northeast Montana. We even have some showers from Plentywood in the northeast corner of the state into the Glendive area. Heavier rain is on the North Dakota side of the border, but a lot of haze, a lot of smoke. Air quality alert, Glasgow 78 at 7, down to 67 at 9. Sheridan, hazy, smoky, 82 at 7, down 10 by 9. Miles City, 83 at 7, down 74 by 9, 79 in Lewistown at 7, down into the upper 60s. In Butte, you're going to be 82 at 7, down to 74. Kalispell, hot and then cooler by 9 o'clock. I'll have a lot more to talk about coming up.
Mark, appreciate it. Thank you very much. In continuing coverage tonight, a Cascade County detention officer is facing charges after he allegedly assaulted a woman in Great Falls over the weekend. Police were called to the 600 block of 6th Street South just before 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. Our Joey Taylor attended a rush press conference this morning about that arrest and joins us now with Great Falls with the details. Joey?
Joshua Yellow Owl, a detention officer, was arrested over the weekend after police responded to a domestic disturbance call.
Josh Yellow Owl was assaulting a female and attempting to break her arm. This was witnessed by a third party. The witness saw him strike her while she screamed for help and honked the horn.
The victim told police Yellow Owl punched her in the face, shoved her head against a window, and twisted her arm. She also said he threw her phone away from her to stop her from calling 911. Police say she had visible injuries and blood on her clothes.
We have a zero tolerance for domestic violence. No employee is above the law. Every report will be taken seriously, investigated, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Sheriff Slaughter also announced that detention officer Brianna Rowe was arrested on August 24th of suspicion while driving under the influence. Sheriff Slaughter says while these incidents happened off duty, the behavior will not be tolerated within his department.
I'm not happy about this. I'll just be honest with you, I'm pissed off. And I don't tolerate this. And these guys behind me don't tolerate this, and no one in this organization tolerates this type of behavior. These incidents occurred off-duty and outside the facility, and unfortunately we don't have control over everybody's lives.
This incident comes after Lloyd Ogden Jr. was arrested following a domestic disturbance on August 17th. Slaughter says steps are already being taken inside the jail to prevent future problems.
We have made leadership changes in the jail to help better snuff out these issues and problems. And we're also working with Montana First Responder Psychological Services to have more in-depth and robust psychological exams for not only our new hires, but we're also looking at every step of the way.
Yellow Owl was charged and is being held in the Choteau County Detention Center. In Great Falls, I'm Joey Taylor, NonStop Local.
We'll be tracking it, Joey. Thank you very much. Let's go to Missoula tonight. New information today marking the official closure of the Johnson Street shelter. And after the official announcement was confirmed by the city of Missoula about 7 months ago, we've been tracking this since the city struck down that closure decision. On the city's end, the reason for the closure was because of financial pressure due to the end of federal funding and increased pressure on the city's general fund. At the beginning of the month, the Johnson Street shelter cut down its capacity to 30 people. And on August 1st, the shelter saw 62 people enter the lottery, requesting a bed, which required some redirection at the beginning of August.
We have had to turn some people away, which is really unfortunate. We're really hoping to push people into the Poverillo Center.
Now, for the city itself, the housing sprint looks to focus on permanent housing solutions instead of emergency shelters. And as the Johnson Street shelter was always just intended to be temporary during the COVID pandemic. Folks, we're going to have more coverage on this coming up on our 6:30 show. We're going to go 360 in depth on the future plans. And developments tonight out of Billings. City leaders in the Magic City and supporters of the Yellowstone Art Museum are clashing over how the museum should be funded. Yellowstone County commissioners held a public meeting this morning on the matter, and tensions quickly became apparent. Take a listen.
Money for art, not for jails.
This all stems from a new budget approved by the Yellowstone County Commissioners, which takes money from the museum fund to pay for things you heard right there, like the Yellowstone County jail operation, something that Yellowstone Art Museum Director Jessica Ogden says she understands the need for, but not at the expense of community programming.
Personally, I hate the idea of the museum being a pay-for-play institution. We want it to be open to our full community, but a decision like this makes that difficult to impossible.
Now, folks, we did talk to members of the county commission. They declined to speak on camera today, but they did say in a statement that the decision to make cuts was not done lightly and that the previous budget was unsustainable. And we stay in Yellowstone County for this next story. Today, also the first day of school for many families in that area. At Bitterroot Elementary in Billings, students and staff tell us they might not have been ready for the summer to end, but they were very excited to be back in the class.
It was a great first day. It was wonderful to see all the kids coming back and they're so excited about their first day and seeing their friends again or meeting new teachers.
My favorite part of back to school is seeing the kids and their enthusiasm to be here.
Back to school, everyone. Today was the first day for students in kindergarten through 6th grade. The first day of classes for the older kiddos begins tomorrow, September 3rd. Okay, folks, now time for sports. Let's bring in sports director Sean Rainey because, Sean, over the weekend, of course, college football began. We had the Bobcats playing. We had football all over the country. We did focus, though, on the NFL because a certain proud Montana homeboy actually is getting potentially another shot for another team in the NFL. Talking, of course, about Tommy Mellott.
Yeah, and it was we had mixed reporting initially. We thought that he made the team for the Raiders, and then turned out to not be the case. Did not sign with the practice squad. He was actually at Butte High's football game this last Friday. There he is shaking some hands and with some of the kiddos. But yes, has signed with the practice squad for the New Orleans Saints. And Ben, the Saints are very good. So that almost could be a benefit for Mr. Mellott because, an injury here, some, continued regular Saints play there, and, he might get a chance sooner than later. You never know.
So, Sean, is this, to be clear, is he still signing with the Saints as a wide receiver, not a quarterback?
Yeah, wide receiver on the practice squad. So, listen, in the NFL, you got it. As long as you're linked to a team and getting your chance, that's all that matters. Very good, because once you, if it would have gone a long time without him getting on a practice squad, you kind of become more and more irrelevant as the time goes on. So, yeah, just attaching with a team, showing what he can do for another organization, and then hopefully he gets his chance sooner than later. And then once you get your shot in the NFL, you just try and capitalize, and then who knows from there. So.
The Saints do love Big Sky Conference players, especially returners.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed's on the team. He went to Weber State. So, hey, hopefully Mr. Mellott gets his opportunity, and he can make the most of it and then have a long, storied NFL career.
A lot of sports coming up later on in the show. Sean Rainey, appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, we're just getting started on this Tuesday evening right here on NonStop Local. After the break, meteorologist Mark Haka joining us with a full look at what you can expect in the sky and on the ground over the next few days. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.